Good evening, everyone. We are starting our Friday edition of Вечер с Голосом, the English edition, and today we finally have the time for the hard fork. And another interesting development, well, I'm not sure if it happened on Steemit already, but someone on Golos made a UE for the escrow service. So we have an escrow on the Golos blockchain. I'm sure that this code could be ported to Steem easily if it's if no one did that already. As you probably know, Steem blockchain have the escrow functionality for I don't know, 4, 5, 6 months now. But as far as I know, there are no current plans by Steemit Inc. to include that functionality in the UE releases for Steemit.com. But they encouraged, I talked to Sneak, and they encouraged anyone who is up to it to do the escrow service, and that's what happened on Golos. Do you know anyone about the escrow service on Steemit? Is there one? I'm not sure. I know that that Busy was planning to implement that at some point, but I posted my latest post to Steemit via Busy, and I didn't find any mention of that functionality there. Anyway, I'm not sure if anyone would be able to screencast for me, but today, Seryoja, like 3 hours ago, he announced that we are going to have a hard fork to 16.3. They are expecting to have a testnet ready for public on 24th, and from what they were telling us, the hard fork should be somewhere after 24th. Actually, I remember him saying that there's going to be hard fork a week after announcement, but apparently there's so the hard fork would be on the 1st of March at noon GMT. So if you have a witness node for Golos delegate, if you're a delegate, especially if you're in top 19, please take a look at the code. Take your witness for a create a witness node for the testnet and get it a spin. So by the 1st of March, you will be able to decide if this particular hard fork would happen or not. What else can we talk about? I know that Arkanji is slightly ill, so he'll probably not be talking, unfortunately, but oh yeah, and with that functionality, there was an escrow-backed transaction on the Golos blockchain a Thank you, Arkanj. Oh, you are able to say something? Or...
Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, so about escrow transaction,
Yeah.
uh, I never saw any escrow transaction before a few days ago on Steemit. The first one I saw were Xstar making some tests to develop his new website. That's why I had to update Golos SQL to be able to manage it. I will uh, post something about it in a few days. But never saw any escrow transaction for a month on Steemit. That's surprising that Golos is the first to implement it.
Well, I suspect that people didn't feel it as important, but I mean, Steam has Peer Hub, and that functionality would be really, really good for Peer Hub. Perhaps not in the way it is implemented right now, but with this. Oh, there's another thing that I wanted to talk about. I remember, and I'm sure that people who are keeping their eye on the news about what's happening in Golos, several weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, Dima Hipster, he announced that Cyberfund would have an initiative where they are sponsoring the open source solutions that utilize Golos blockchain. And this week there was the first report. I think it's hold on, it's here. And can anyone screencast for me? I'm not sure. I could probably get someone from the chat to do that. Yeah. Oh, so it was 3 weeks ago, and the report was today, and they did three reward three developers: Good Karma, the developer of eSteam, then Onto Fractal, and the Dark Sun, the guy behind Golos. Onto Fractal develops Elixir libraries for Golos, and I think also for Steam blockchain. I remember seeing his post about that several months ago, like November or October, something like that. If you are a developer and you have some code for Steam, if you could easily port it to work with Golos blockchain. And to participate in this initiative, you would have to notify Hipster, and you'll have to create a separate account for your applications. So those three are Mapala, Steam App, and Elixir Golos, and there are links for those applications. So
I have one question. Is it required to create a separate account for this?
I'm not sure. I think that there were questions about that in the comments, and
yeah, because last time we talked about Golos.net, that's open source. Maybe people missed it. I will repost the information about it.
hold on, I'll check the.
Yeah.
the comments. Okay.
Anyway, I can check it. And
Yeah, I think you could check it later. And I remember that he mentioned you specifically about because you're doing a lot for Golos blockchain, and I know that your stuff is open source. Um, so. Well, I think that's most of the really interesting news that we have for today. And
I just have one question about the
mhm.
forthcoming art fork. Sajay Masar said there will be a art fork 40.3 for
Oh yeah,
VM.
yeah, um, and um, and I think that the announcement for 14.3 is still not. It haven't happened yet. I suspect it's going to be announced maybe. He said like in 4 hours. That was 3 hours ago, something like that. So it should be announced soon after we finish the Hangouts.
But will excuse me if if I have some difficulties to speak today. uh, will it be required to deploy it
I
on?
think so. Yes, I think
Yes,
so. It's it includes some features that are required for
for the VM
the
launch.
BM launch. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm, and before starting today's uh, edition of Evening with Golos, I was tinkering with another server where I am going to migrate my witness node. So I'll have to check it after we finish today, or maybe a little bit later. But anyway, that's something that's yet to be announced. So I don't know any particulars about this hard fork other than it is required for the VM launch, and it is mostly a bug fix for hard fork. Mm, That's all I know about it.
Yeah, okay.
Mm,
We'll wait the announcement.
yeah, we'll have to wait till the announcement. That's a little pity that we don't have much people here because I don't really know what else to talk about. Oh yeah, I remembered something else. There was a GBG crash on Bitrex, and there was a discussion about the packbot that NX launched after our hangout last week. So apparently, the packbot that was helping to keep the bag on the internal market was a little disturbing to the people who were arbitraging between the external and internal markets, and they there's uh, as well, I don't know, as non-market feature because people are losing money for keeping it and stuff like that. But after that, someone tried to sell, I don't know, like 7,000 gold on Bittrex, and the price crashed. So it was very amusing to watch that. Well, if we had a little bit more people, I guess we could discuss this a little bit
Is the
further.
packbot still running? Because I provisioned
Yeah,
some GBG.
I think it ran out of money.
Yeah, I think there was a problem because a few people provisioned the GBG to it, and the money instantly disappeared.
Oh yeah, the GBG are being converted, and I think. Okay, so there were one. Okay, so there were 1,300 Golos from Serежа and from Roland, but currently.
That's
I
random
think
because I'm in the notification of 1,000.
I think you could probably pull the data from the uh, from the uh, from the SQL database that shows that what's up with Peg. Um, I think all those transactions for converting and stuff like that are there in the blockchain. There is another cool thing. There's this guy. Uh, his username is SXIII, I think. SX. It's like SX3, but with Roman 3 or like S. L. And he posted some tutorials about using Linux to connect to your SQL database for Golos, and how to use the CLI to pull useful data out of it.
Yeah,
So
I saw it in a nice initiative to show
it's
people how to do
really cool. Yeah, it's really cool. It's actually something I plan to poke around a little bit. What else is there? I kind of think that we could also well, it's probably not a good topic to discuss. Anyway, that's all the news for today, and I think we could probably go and drink beers for today because there's not much to discuss, and and well, I actually have there's a Dash meetup in Moscow today. I think it's the first one, and I want to attend because we are planning to launch a open ledger and BitShares related service that would help people to get their Golos and the gold into rubles via the BitShares. And BitShares also works with Dash, and that's what I want to discuss with people there. From what I know, the Russian Dash community isn't all that keen on using open ledger, but that's something I plan to work around because as far as I'm concerned, there are like three, or if we include Golos, four interesting cryptocurrencies that I like, and they are Steam, Golos, BitShares, and Dash. And I know that there are a lot of people who are like all the Bitcoin all the way, but the situation with Bitcoin with their war between Segwit and Unlimited and stuff like that, and I don't know, like 30,000 unconfirmed transactions. I'm like, no, thank you. I'll probably use something better like Steam and Golos. I understand that today is probably a little bit early to talk that Steam would trump Bitcoin at some point, but that's what I expect. And the reason for that is that for the best well, I'm not sure how to formulate that. Well, for the cryptocurrencies to succeed, they need universal acceptance. And while Bitcoin is working on that, there's like hour confirmation, 3-hour confirmation. If you want to be completely secure and you want like 6 confirmations, it can take I don't know, hours, maybe days, and that's not something that you would use for real world. Not something you would use for getting a cup of coffee or something like that. But for the cryptocurrency to succeed, it needs universal acceptance, and for universal acceptance, it needs to be user-friendly. And as far as I know, there are currently like 2 and with Golos 3 cryptocurrencies that are working on that, and that's Dash, Steam, and or probably like Steam, Dash, and Golos, because I haven't heard about Dash before I heard of Steemit, and my first Dash coins were given away on Steemit, so that's kind of a thing. And while it would probably take another 2, 3, 4, several years for this to happen, but that's what it was with Bitcoin. So that's what I expect. I know that a lot of people would say that this is not how things are going to play out, and that Bitcoin is something that is going to be there on the top of the list forever. Well, okay, I can live with that. I mean, Bitcoin is probably going to be around, and it's probably going to be number one as this digital gold thing. But for an average Joe, it's not something that they will get comfortable with using probably ever. That's what I think. Oh. Anyone wants to say something? Because if not, I'll probably would rather wrap this up and go and drink beer with Dash people.
Yeah, go have some beers. Enjoy.
Yay, beers! Okay, thank you, everyone. This was Evening with the Golos. We hopefully will have a interesting issue next Wednesday, and after that, our schedule is Wednesday, Friday, always at 8 o'clock Moscow time. And I suspect that by Wednesday we'll have more interesting news and things to talk about. Today was Piotr, Inertia, and Arkanj with you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you Wednesday. Bye-bye.